Right now, I want to say good morning to our good friend Kevin Richards. He's with Ventura Web Design. And by way of disclosure, of course, they created my website. Go to allenstock.com. You can find out all about my website. And on the right-hand side of the page, little logo there for Ventura Web Design. You can click onto that, and you can find out about Ventura Web Design and Kevin Richards and how to get in touch with them. Hey, Kevin, thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning, Alan. It's a little chilly out there today.
No, it's actually very nice. I'm inside Frank's European, and actually, I got a long sleeve shirt on. It's a little warm here. I'm doing great, but I understand it's a little chilly, and it's supposed to warm up over the weekend, though. But tell me about Apple's iOS 7. I know it's the most recent Apple software update. What does this exactly mean?
Well, I know you're a big fan of Apple, so I'm always happy to bring that to the table and talk to you about that. So the new iOS 7 is a new platform that the iPhone operates on. It controls the iPad. It controls the Apple computers. And so they released it. It has a brand new look. It has a lot of cool features that are located in different places, so it's much easier to use. For example, if you swipe up from the bottom of the screen, you have immediate access to your calculator, your flashlight, which you didn't have before, and also direct access to your music. So it's quite cool. It allows you to use the phone a bit faster.
Okay, but this is not intended for iMacs, is it?
Well, the iOS platform kind of controls all of Apple's experience, so it's part of that.
Okay, it's part of that. Yeah, because I know that Rhoda had her iPhone updated with the iOS 7, and I didn't need to do that with my iMac. But she also said that it changed things a little bit. So the look and location and how you access certain things is a little bit different with the iOS 7.
It is. It also has a new thing called iTunes Radio, which is pretty cool. It's similar to Pandora. Basically allows you to stream full songs and audio, and it encourages you, if you like the song, you can buy it right from there with one click. One of my favorite things about the new iOS is that the email animation, when you delete an email, it used to be this nice little kind of genie swirl, and it would delete itself, and it looked kind of cool, but it certainly took, a good second and a half to watch. Now they've eliminated that. They've made it a lot faster, so you push the delete button, and the email is pretty much automatically gone.
Yeah, I noticed that with my iMac, by the way. If I delete something, okay, it's deleted, it goes into trash. But when I want to get rid of, if I have like 100 things in trash or 200 things, all I have to do is go delete trash, and it's gone. I mean, in the blink of an eye, you said a second, it's like a fraction of a second, and it's totally gone. No playing around.
Right. Now, some people are not completely in love with the new iOS. It has some new features to it. One of the most subtle but obvious, it's kind of funny, the background of your iPhone, if you have a picture and you move it around, it'll actually kind of move with you. There's a lot of more subtle animations that didn't exist before, and people are saying that's causing some vertigo, making them feel a little bit nauseous, like they're car sick.
Well, say that again. What is it that's making them giving vertigo?
When you go through the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland and the paintings look at you as you walk by.
Right.
Apple has kind of done the same thing with the background of your iPhone. If you move it, it actually kind of moves with you. And if that gives you that car sickness feeling, you can go to the settings, you can go to accessibility, and you can actually click a button that says reduce motion, and you can turn that off. But it's kind of cool. It adds a neat animation to the mix.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's another dimension, and eventually most things will be 3D by default. And I don't mean this fake 3D. I mean that's be, there for everyone to access. Let's talk about reviews online. People reviewing the iMac and other types of reviews. I just want to get an idea. Do you trust reviews online in general?
You got to be really careful with which reviews you trust. The New York Attorney General just went through a pretty big sting operation where they wanted to find search engine optimization companies that would write fake reviews and would basically make reviews useless online. So you've got to be very careful which companies you trust. In the office supply field, that's one where if you go through and you read the reviews, you can kind of just tell by the way it's written that it wasn't written by a native English speaker, and that's a really good indicator that it's a fake review. And the point of the fake reviews is obviously it's very easy to write a bad review online, so then merchants want to make those go away. So the trick to make those go away is to write a bunch of positive reviews, push the bad review down on the list, but obviously that's not what the that's not what the reviews are about. That's it's considered to be false advertising by the FTC. So
so what do you do? How do you know when to trust any reviews then?
It's hard. You got to use your best judgment. I mean, quite honestly, I've known that the fake review farms have been out there for quite a few years. So my trust in online reviews is very low. But you've got to. One of the tricks is if it's a website where the person actually has to post a picture of themselves, and you can see a list of all their previous reviews, and it's not just reviewing, say, one merchant. They haven't written 20 reviews for the same merchant. They've actually written them for a lot of different merchants, and you can kind of look at the experience and say, that feels like a real person. They've gone to a couple different restaurants, or they've gone to a couple different stores, and they've reviewed them.
Wow. All right, I'm going to continue. I want to talk about some other things in a moment because Google just released a major overhaul to its search engine. And by the way, they also are facing claims in a Gmail wiretap lawsuit. And plus, there are the iPhones that are out there. They've come out with the iPhone S. Some problems with people being able to hack by making up fingerprints. So we'll talk about all that and more. Talking to Kevin Richards, Ventura Web Design. And we've got a lot of time, but I appreciate your being with us. And I want to get to this. The Google just released a major overhaul to its search engine. Tell me about that, please.
So it's Google's birthday. They were founded back on September 4th of 1998. And so now, 15 years later, they've launched a brand new algorithm to control how their search results are displayed. Basically, you think of the algorithm as the engine that controls a car. So they've replaced the engine with a brand new, shiny, brand new engine, and basically what that does is it changes the results a little bit. And Google's pretty positive about it. They're excited because it's going to be allowing for the conversational search to be progressed a little bit further. And what that means is you can ask questions like, who's the president of the United States? And then from that, you can say, when was he born? And it knows that you're referring back to the current president of the United States. So conversational search is definitely the direction that search is headed. Google always wants to kind of give you the answer to the question before you've even really asked the question. So they're very excited about this.
There used to be an app a long time ago, a little Jeeves, the butler, Ask Jeeves, I think it was called, where you actually posed a question and you would say, you ask something in a question form and it would find it. And I don't know where that app is anymore, but I know that you can do that with Google. I do it all the time, where I'll just go on and ask the question, pose a question, bam, it'll go right to giving me several options.
Right, it was called Ask Jeeves, and that was another search engine, and their logo was the butler. And yes, that was a pretty popular search engine for a while.
It's gone now, I imagine.
Yeah, you can still go to ask.com, and it's still kind of there, but it's not the same as it used to be. You're not going to see the butler. You're not going to have that experience that you were having previously. But you're right. That was the very first kind of iteration of the concept of conversational search.
I do remember it. I was there at the beginning. All right, let's talk real quickly about this on the iPhone 5S. I had to go in the other day to get some equipment at the Apple place, and people were lined up. This was over at the Fashion Mall. People were lined up trying to get the iPhone, and the iPhone S or C and 5S or C, and they only had one aspect of it. They just ran out big time. But there are problems, they're saying, with the iPhone S, which uses people's fingerprints instead of a code word to get in. But they're saying people are being able to hack into it by making up these fingerprints. Tell me about this.
Well, there's a lot of different ways to kind of break into the iPhone, and it's kind of normal. When they launched the unlock the background feature a couple of years ago with the camera attached to it, that was another way that you could kind of go in through the back door. And this time around, they had similar problems. You could swipe up, like I was telling you earlier, to access the new control center, and then you open the alarm clock app, and you kind of go through a couple of those apps, and then suddenly you've got access to email, Flickr, Facebook, all those other things. So it's kind of a known issue, but they've already released a upgrade to it. It's called 7.0.2. And you can download that. It's a very quick download, and it solves that problem right away.
7.0.2 if you have it. And if you can't remember that, just remember our area code 702. Real quick, also, I'm going to get over our pet pick in a moment, which you can find at allenstock.com. But also, when I go to Israel in a couple of weeks, and I'll be interviewing various people, pictures of these various folks, I'm going to be sending them back to you. You'll be posting them on my website, and you'll be able to see me with hopefully Benjamin Netanyahu and a bunch of other folks. So, anyways, you and I will work together on that. I'll announce more of that as I get closer to my trip to Israel in a couple of weeks. But if you want to find out more about Ventura Web Design and Kevin Richards, go to allenstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll be able to see the logo for Ventura Web Design. And there you go. You'll be able to contact Kevin. And they do a beautiful job, and you can look at my website and see what a great job they've done. Kevin, thanks so much for being with us. I won't be here next week, but you and I will be talking again in 2 weeks.
Sounds great. Talk to you then.
Thanks so much for being with us. Kevin Richards, Ventura Web Design, joining us. And again, go to allenstock.com and go to the logo on the right-hand side of the page, and you can find him.